everyone, and listen, there's this really big movie I want to watch. It's about a thing doing a thing. Everybody loves this movie, and that's why I've decided to not watch it, because police, I'm on a strict anti-loser policy. That's why today we'll be playing the video game adaptation of the movie, because police, what else do I have to do? Movie-based video games were an absolute phenomenon during the 6th and 7th generation of consoles. To think that you could get more content from your favorite movies or make your own decisions in your favorite movies was mind-blowing. But in all reality, a good amount of them turned out to be cheap cash grabs. If we look at the gaming landscape today, we don't see a lot of movie-based games. We have games inspired by movies like Spider-Man PS4, the Batman Arkham games, and Jedi Fallen Order, but these games aren't exactly movie tie-in games. They're more complementary pieces, either taking place in their own world or expanding the world of whatever movie they are based on. But with that being said, we'll go back in time today to discuss movie-based video games of the 6th and 7th generation of consoles. And what better place to start than with the smash hit Ratatouille? To be completely honest, I'm kind of impressed with this game. Now, with the game having the name Ratatouille, I expected it to be some cheap rat-themed Cooking Mama game, but instead it turned out to be a 3D platformer, and a pretty solid one at that. We have all of our favorite characters from the movie, like this rat, and that other rat. And hey, we even have the rat from Ratatouille here. I even feel like the dialogue's pretty good in this game, but man, do they really like to bully the fat rat. I mean, like, yeah, we get that he's morbidly obese, but do you really have to bully him that much? It actually is pretty funny, so keep going, creators of Ratatouille the game. Well, I quite enjoyed Ratatouille, so let's check out another game, coincidentally by the same development group. This game being the SpongeBob movie video game. I quite enjoy this game, and I know many others love it too. Now, I will say I personally prefer Battle for Bikini Bottom over this game, but both games aren't too different from each other, seeing that both games are built using the same engine. Now, really the only downside of this game is it didn't use any clips from the movie, instead opting to use still images, which just makes the game seem unfinished. But beyond that, I will say from it being a little bit unfinished feeling, it is one of my favorite movie-based video games. Alright, so we've already had two great games. Let's see what other movie tie-in games we have here. Oh no. Happy Feet on the PlayStation 2. And take a guess what this game is going to be. Now, if you guessed anything other than a bad DDR clone, I am sorry, but you are wrong. I don't know what I expected from this game, but a bad DDR clone is not what I expected. All you do is click the direction on the D-pad the game tells you. Now, I thought maybe the game has some dance pad accessory that I'm missing, but on further inspection, it doesn't even appear that it supports it. So that's kind of sad, because if a dance pad was supported, it would make it a little bit more tolerable than it actually is. Yep, that's all I have to say on this game. So Happy Feet was pretty bad. Let's follow that up with, oh god, why do I keep putting myself through this? Cat in the Hat is a game based on the 2003 live-action adaptation of the story. And to be completely honest, I don't know what one's worse, the game or the movie. Anyway, getting into the game, we have a long monologue from the cat that is indeed possibly wearing a hat. And then I thought Sonic on the Sega Saturn looked bad. This model is easily one of the worst models I've ever seen. But I shouldn't expect much, seeing that it is Cat in the Hat. After we get into the actual gameplay, we learn that it's a basic 2D platformer, which means its controls are surprisingly not that bad, but it also means that it's very generic. I do have a couple issues, being that these worlds make me wonder if I accidentally took acid this morning. All the levels have just so many colors and just things going on in the background, making it very hard to distinguish what's an obstacle and what's part of the background. But beyond that, I think the game is actually not that bad, which is surprising seeing what movie it is based on. But I could definitely see myself wanting to play this again as a fun time waster.
Never has so much been owed by so many to one cat.
Alright, on second thought, maybe not. Well, that was a horrifying drug trip. Now let's talk about a game centered around something a little bit better. Kidnapping. Finding Nemo is one interesting game. Basically, the main gimmick is to go through these rings until you get to where you need to go. Now, this is incredibly simple, and I think they could have done a lot more with the idea of being a kidnapped fish. But after that, the game told me to use the movement button, but it didn't tell me what that was, so that was fun. Overall, I would say the game is not the best, but I could see it being a good time waster. Also, I got stuck on the first level, so I'm pretty annoyed by that. So Finding Nemo was a game. Now let's talk about one of my favorite movie tie-in games, being Star Wars: The Clone Wars. Now this game technically doesn't take place during one of the movies, but the first mission does take place during the Attack of the Clones, and also I just want an excuse to talk about this game. So this game is mostly a vehicle-oriented shooter with tanks and spaceships and all that cool stuff. The controls feel very good, though a tad bit slippery comparing it to modern video games. The best way I can describe this game is it feels very much like a shooter you would find in the arcade. But wait, those are only 2 out of 3 playstyles. Occasionally, you have to get out of your vehicle to do something on foot, and... Ew! Oh god, these controls are absolutely putrid. Nice thing is, you rarely are doing things on foot, but when you do... I hear that scoliosis might be more fun than that. Excluding that major flaw, I will say that this game is one of my favorite movie tie-in games. Even though it's not really a movie tie-in game. So that was movie-based video games. We had some really good games in that, and some really, really bad games in that. And also Cat in the Hat. But now that we've reviewed a bunch of them, we can totally rock anyone at movie trivia. So that wasn't a movie trivia, that was a Bible study.